Ba-ba. Hello, everybody.
Hi,
We
Dr.
are
Kev.
here.
That's
hope y'all
right.
doing well.
It's your favorite boy.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out. I'm gonna
Get-
shoot Amy in the fucking face.
I mean, hold on. I thought those soundboards were prepared.
You were the chosen one!
There's one of them.
You underestimate my power!
Oh my
I-
lord. Jesus Christ, yeah. Yes,
How about
it's
this one? How about
been...
this one?
Oh lord.
Fast, Chuckle Nut!
That's a new one. Oh, fuck.
Touch-
It's been a hot-ass minute, y'all. Almost too long since we've been back. A little behind the scenes, a little bit of a fucky-wucky on my part. We did record the last episode, but unfortunately my PC was like, oh, you thought you had space for that. How about no? And so
Oh, damn.
we are essentially going to start it off with a recap into what happened last time, and I'll kind of, elaborate on a few other details here throughout it. Oh, shit, I have to pull this out again. There we go. Okay. But yeah, we are going to get right into the thick of it in a second. But yeah, starting off.
We're, no introductions.
Yeah, we should probably do those because it's people will
Just
people
right
will
into
Aw.
it,
what we are.
What if they forgot?
Yes.
But Kevin,
Yes.
what if they forgot us?
Yes, hi, it's me, your favorite boy. Yeah, just Kevin for the past, DM for the past, present, and future sessions of this lovely little Star Wars story we're weaving along here, and yeah, we're just chugging along through this Jabim arc, and oh lord, it is going to probably get worse than the comics in the near future. We'll see what happens. But yeah, starting next in line, we have TK playing Raz.
One!
No! Please, not the damn Sonic dub. It's haunting my dreams again. I didn't sleep.
Love it.
I barely
Love
slept last night. That shit's gonna be in my dreams now. Thanks. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. But
Where
hi.
are you, Sonic.
Oh, damn, that was kind of cool. But yeah, hi, your favorite goofy guy is here, TK, playing your friendly neighborhood Zabrak Raziel, who is going through it. Yeah. His Thrawn doesn't like him, but he wants to keep Viper and his clone buddies safe, so that's the predicament. We're gonna find out what he decides to do. So yeah,
Nice.
it's a time.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we got Jinkles playing Shir'iven.
Let's fucking go.
I guess. Hi, I'm Jinkles. I'm the reason why that we haven't been playing because I've been too fucking busy doing my promotional shit for Sucker for Love 2. And I'm so sorry that everything has been so fucking busy for me.
Wow, how
Trust
dare you
she's
have a
also-
life and a job? How dare you?
She's also living in the Resident Evil 7 house, so there's that.
Basically. And I'm currently out of that. Yeah.
7 house.
Yeah, fucking Marguerite is taking over my fucking house. Jesus. Anyway, I play Shir'iven, fellow Jedi Master who's fucking tired of everything going on, just like I
Yes.
am.
Hey,
Mood.
if you're tired of watching Soul and Jedi Dad vibes, come in here and watch the Jedi Wine Mom vibes for Shir'iven. All right, next on up we have a Viper played by our lovely resident Chase.
That's me. Hi, everybody. I'm Chase. I play RCO947, or Viper if you're nasty. So last time on Star Wars Z, the good news is I have been pardoned for my slight Mandalorian war crimes against Barrick's mom. So that's good. The bad news is the space voices are getting louder, and I don't know how to stop it.
Yeah, that pretty much sums what you've been going through.
The space
That
voices are getting louder.
tracks.
Space voices.
That tracks.
There are 2 wolves inside of me, and they both have the markers from Dead Space. I need them to stop.
And finally, last but certainly not least, our lovely gay little Mendo son, Beren, played by our lovely Mark.
Hey, Mark. I play Beren. And yeah, just nice to be playing again. I think I've missed him. I've missed Beren. I've missed everybody's characters. And I've missed Patch, obviously, most of all.
I missed your
Yes.
husband. I miss my wife,
Mhm.
Tails. I miss her.
I miss my
wife.
wife.
My wife, Tails.
See,
I miss my wife, Obi-Wan. I missed him a lot. I'll be back.
I'll be back.
And
Oh,
for
you-
reference,
you-
we're
you
talking
forgot
about
the
the character, not the dog.
Yeah,
we're
my
not.
dog, Obi-Wan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's gonna get
very
even more
important
confusing.
legal distinction. Don't sue
Uh,
us, you two. I
Going to
swear.
get even more confusing because I'm getting another dog at this point, some point this year, called Anakin. So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we're
You'll
totally.
just never know who
Yeah,
I'm talking
PETA
about.
is totally not gonna be angry at us for saying like, "Oh yeah, I fucking love Anakin," or "I'll hate Anakin. I kick the shit out of him." Oh no, I'm talking about the character, not the dog. Oh fucking hell! Okay, we are gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna play the music. Run the intro right now before we fucking tangent into another plane of existence. So. Let me get that rolling in 3, 2, 1. Ba-da. Oh.
Our team managed to secure the Separatist camp, despite the grievances of the Jabini civilians. Our next step forward is to secure the capital and apprehend Freeman once and for all. Although getting there is going to be tough. Shir'iven suggested I don the armor of the Jabini soldiers and disguise myself as one of them, while pretending I take her as hostage. That could gain us access through the sewers. However, Viper received a call from Captain Thrawn, who found out he nearly gave away our position due to complications with his condition. He ultimately gave him the ultimatum to kill me, and he'll keep it a secret. This complicates matters. I don't want to lie anyone if I fake my death, but I have to save Viper. I'm gonna need some help with this.
And with that, we will continue from where we left off as, yeah, just sort of a general refresher as, you know, the party, you know, recently, thanks to the efforts of Boba Fett, along with Shir'iven, Raz, and, you know, a couple of other late arrivals to the party, you were able to successfully capture one of the command posts, which I will go back to the Jabin map and remind our audience and everyone that, yeah, you have successfully captured this command post, and, meanwhile, while Anakin, Ahsoka, Imagundi, Bruiser, and their segment of the 501st and Imagundi's, you know, battalion have taken the southernmost command post on Jabin. But you still have a couple other ones to potentially take out. But in the process of, you know, securing this location, you had a battle with Freeman. It was a close fight, but she just barely managed to get away. But soon after that battle, you eventually, Thrawn kind of dialed you up, Viper, saying, you know, offering an ultimatum of sorts. Hey, you know, I can keep this, you know, what you did in calling Grievous when you had your little Django snap, under wraps if you, you know, provide me, you know, Raziel's horn, a lightsaber, something proving that Raziel is dead once and for all, as he is, you know, revealed to Viper. Raziel is responsible for the death of Thrawn's brother, and, you know, at the time, Maul assisted in killing some other members of Thrawn's family. But, you know...
Hey, yeah, that did happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that... If I didn't mention it, Thrawn fucking would have. in a very subtle
that's right.
and thrown away. Yeah.
Fucking, I remember Shiri was like, you better fucking tell, my students, otherwise I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah. So, but yeah, with all of that out of the way, I believe you guys are still like kind of in your private sort of tent. Yeah, it's just the four of you, kind of like getting your own like little space to hash out the details as far as, okay, are we faking Raz's death, or I think like the last update that you got, Sherry, was that General Grievous has moved his fleet over the capital city of Chol, so likely preparing for a bombardment of the city should shit go south. But the shield is still up there, so the city is safe from bombardment from your side or the enemies. So yeah, ultimately that is the situation. So yeah, I will leave it up to y'all. What would you like to do now that you have a moment to kind of refresh yourselves with the situation and
One more thing that was left off. Beren ended up forgiving Viper for what he almost did to his mother, now that he has a bigger picture of what's going on with Viper.
Right.
Space voices.
Yes, Beren.
Yep.
Yeah, officially, I believe. Yeah, like Beren, like you use the term like that. Viper is now like the Mandalorian like brother term. I think you use that. Let's say
The voices.
But yeah.
Yep. Used proper Mandalorian terminology on that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, with all of that set on up, you guys have who knows how much longer before Chol can be taken. I mean, you still have a couple other sites to move on out. I mean, at least, yeah, I mean, strategy-wise, that will be kind of discussed between, Gundy, like pretty much all of like the Jedi, including Shiri and Obi-Wan, potentially even, the rest of y'all. At some point, the rest might just be given orders as far as like, your part to play in the other, like what sounds like an island hopping strategy. But yeah, what would you guys like to do, knowing what you have laid before you?
Okay, what time is it right now? It's at night, right? Because that's when we all met up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's still night, I believe, before the
Yeah.
next day, so I think it's still that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty... Yeah, like, I mean, it's even hard to tell, like, when it is daytime on Jabim, but I'll say for the sake of ease, it is, like, like, the troops are, like, kind of settling into the camp right now and preparing to kind of nod off, and yeah, you got folks like, I'd say, with Obi-Wan's crew, you have Sora, Commander Cody, Waxer, Boyle, Patch, a couple other clones are on the patrol, or if they're not patrolling, they're just kind of securing the perimeter, gathering whatever information they can, but yeah.
I mean, Beren will just he'll join. You said like Waxer, Boyle, Patch, and all that. On what's it called?
Patrol?
Patrol, yeah. So Beren will join in with that. Why not?
Sure. Waxer and Boyle will happily take you on, and they're gonna ask for more tea about
Oh no.
yeah.
Fair.
Favorite gay little clones.
Mhm.
But yeah. Do with that what you will. But yeah. Anything in particular anyone else would like to discuss? Because I mean, I think the note we left on as far as Raz's options is discussing, faking his death and trying to get those that face, or I don't know if it was like a face change or what exactly it's called specifically, but those machines like from the actual show that like Obi-Wan took to become that other bounty hunter guy. I'm actually gonna look up.
Rico
Yeah.
Hardin.
Yes.
Hardin.
Did we secure like a contact that can do that?
I think you got as far as reasoning that if anyone can get machinery like that, it would probably be Patch. As far as it being accessible on the planet right now,
Yeah.
it's kind of up in the air. But yeah.
Patch is with us right now.
Not with you guys currently,
No.
but yeah. Because you
Alright.
you still need to discuss, like, who is going to know if you are going the route of faking Raz's death. Who is going to be in the know?
I think that Shiri should bring Raz to find Patch and we discuss it in private. That or like Shiri sends for Patch and we explain it in her tent.
Hmm. I mean, that's up to y'all. Feel free to.
What do you think, TK?
I think he does want to, regardless of what route Raz takes on this, he does want to update Patch on the situation and what we've been trying to plan. Because Patch has worked very closely with us as of recently, so, and considering he's our chief medical officer, whatever we decide to do, he should probably be in the know.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether we fake his death or find another alternative, he should probably be in on this. That's
Yeah.
kind of where I'm at and where Raz is at. And he'll kind of voice that out.
So,
We're- yeah.
sorry, my bad.
No, you're good. Whatever we decide to do, though, I think Patch should know. He's our chief medic, and he needs to be in on this.
No, I agree. I'll make a contact for him. Though, as soon as we make that decision, I believe D-Gig should know somewhat of the situation.
Yeah.
That's right. You haven't sent the transmission to her yet.
No, because of the spotty storms.
I think didn't you write up a whole thing of what you would send to her? Could be wrong. I thought it was somewhere either in our DMs or shared someplace.
I did not write anything out yet because I was still kind of brainstorming on whether or not we were going to go with this route or something different.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I didn't plan anything out yet, but if we did, he'd probably write something. But he, as of because of where we left off, he's still mulling his options over.
Understood.
I do believe that Patch would be able to figure out whatever routes are given to us, but whatever decision it comes to, should let D-Gig know, because if we are to presume you will die and not be known as Raziel anymore, it's not fair on her. Especially with how she feels for you.
And with how I feel for her, I don't want to leave her in the dark.
You don't have to tell her yet. But once we come to a decision, I expect you to tell her.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk to Patch and see what our options are.
And Shiri pulls out her communicator, and she pages for Patch.
Okay. Patch will respond, being like, Yes, General. What can I do for you all?
Please report to my tent. There's something I need to discuss with you and Raziel.
Oh, sure thing. It takes a couple of minutes just walking through the storm, but he will eventually arrive. I mean, yes, General, you wanted to see me on a personal matter.
Here, come in, Patch. There's something that has come up. Raziel has been asked to be dead, and that's a bit of a problem.
Come again? I'm not
Is-
sure
is-
I follow.
Is he further into the tent that, like, the flap is closed and
Yeah,
all
the flap is closed. He would have closed it behind him.
Okay. The long and short of it is, Thrawn messaged Viper, found out what he almost did. What he did do. And basically gave him an ultimatum. To keep it a secret, he wants Viper to kill me.
But
And if he doesn't go through with it, Viper will no doubt be decommissioned.
wait, hold up. Why would Thrawn want you dead, though? He's a public officer. He's served with us. I mean, I know he's rather somewhat recent, but he's a rather decorated, naval prodigy from the academy.
Remember when I told you that before I joined you guys, I was with the Sith, and one of my missions required me to kill a kid no older than I was at the time?
Vaguely.
That was Thrawn's brother.
You see, Patch for a moment, he, already took off the helmet once, he had, a moment alone, but he even kind of, steps back, at a loss for words. And, even, almost falls back into a seat and, puts his head in his hand, oh, grief. What?
I know. Orders. I didn't want to, but
No.
you know all about following orders.
All too well,
but-
kid. All too well.
But
So-
Thrawn doesn't see it that way. He's taken this personal, and my actions have caught up with me.
I understand that. So, hypothetically speaking, what do you need from me to sell you being dead?
We were thinking of there's a reconstructive surgery. And we were wondering if you had any possible connections to someone who might be able to do something like that.
Kind of mulls it over for a minute and goes, I don't... On Coruscant, probably. But... obviously, we're a bit ways away from there. However, I do have this. As he kind of, ruffles around his, one of his aid kits. And he pulls out this very, very small vial. Let me actually check. I don't know if this is just part of his, subclass thing, or it might just be an item I can just give him, but let me check. Disability, responders routine, duration style. Yeah, it's been way too long since I've refreshed. But yeah, he just pulls out this very small vial of this slightly bubbling clear liquid, and just goes, This is a neurotoxin. In theory, it should, for any clear humanoid style, biology species, it should, hypothetically, lower the heart rate enough to make any invading foreign bodies or anything of that sort believe that its host is dead. And it should bypass most scanners or, clear, unless, they decide to cut into you and check. You should have your heart rate slow enough that any basic medical droid will determine that you are, comatose, essentially. But
Okay, that's something.
yes, you could take this dose, or, I suppose it wouldn't hurt once everything's all said and done. You might need something to convince Thrawn beyond just the body, or what's left of it.
Well, lucky for that, Thrawn did want something in return. A thorn or a saber or something. Viper could easily cut one of my horns off and present it to him.
That could work.
Did he mention how long Viper has in order to do this?
I believe it was before the end of the campaign on Jabim.
Yeah.
Got it.
And I assume Viper would have told us that, so.
Yeah, I'm very certain they did.
Okay. I think it was before we ended up leaving this planet.
Right.
Understandably. We could. Now hear me out on this. Raziel goes out in a blaze of glory.
It is possible. If you do die in the line of duty, I guess that is what might be needed to be done to sell to Thrawn. Or you could come close. It'll be at least on the helmets of whoever fights alongside there. It just has to be a moment where you can pop that poison, get yourself knocked out, or can try stowing you away along with all the body bags, bring you back to Coruscant, and, the rest of that we'll sort as we go through, but there can be still room for you to make it out of this alive. You will just know that through this surgical process, you'd still probably be a Zabrak, at least on the surface, but definitely physiologically changed. You'll be given a voice modification bot. It's a bit of a nasty process, but you will look and sound entirely different from who you once were.
My,
Kind of like nudges his shoulder. It's like, the voice box wouldn't be a problem. I already had to deal with that.
Don't remind me. The last one was awful. My, tattoos wouldn't disappear or change, would they?
In theory, they should.
If anything, we could possibly...
Well, correction. Who you are underneath all that reconstruction, like all the, physical marking changes, those should be fine. At least like tattoos and the like, scarring and things. It might be it's under a thin veneer of surgery, from injections and such.
So, in theory, once we take them out of the picture, I'd still look as I am right now, right?
It can be reversed, but once the smoke clears, I suppose, then yes, you can look like your old self again.
That's reassuring.
You'd have to come up with a whole new identity, and I'm not exactly certain it'll be as easy to wave away as, oh, Shir'iven found another Force sensitive over on Jabim and is making them a Jedi.
If anything, you could fully become part of your group. Have to wear a helmet, but
It's not the
My-
worst
that
thing.
also adds into
My group?
the Rough Riders.
It's a possibility.
That's one option.
We would have to get rid of the horns, but we could feasibly, with the surgery, I think it is enough that we can make you look like a clone on the surface. You just,
That all depends what you would like to become.
it really is in your hands, kid.
It is. This is a lot.
We aren't going to make it to the capital until probably a couple days from now.
Mm-hmm.
You have time to mull it over.
And you have this poison if anything else comes to worse.
Just make sure that you tell us what your decision is. We could come up with what we need to in order to prepare for it. And we'll go from there.
Okay. This poison. I'll take the vial from Patch.
Mhm.
Would I be able to come back from it?
There is a small chance that it'll, very minuscule, but you should come back from it. You will effectively be comatose for, I want to say, about 72 hours. Potentially longer. I haven't exactly used it in the field with non-clone physiology, but it's supposed to, in theory help clones get through, intense bouts of pain and, Oh, I guess me saying Sherry freaked out my phone, making it think I said Siri. So I'm gonna go deal with that real quick. Just 1 second.
Siri!
Yeah, it's like, hey Apple, relax. Sorry, just 1 second. Feel free to discuss amongst
Sure.
yourselves.
Yeah, if I go this route, either a clone or even a Mandalorian.
Like I said, it's your choice in the matter. Whatever you choose to do, we'll come up with a plan for identifying one another. And we'll just go from there.
Yeah.
But, Patch, in the meantime, I would suggest trying to find some connections to those surgeons that could possibly do such a thing for us.
Yes, ma'am. Once we're outside of this storm radius, it'll be easier to make that contact. And if Raz can... Look, I would just need a body of Raz at the end of the day to do whatever I need to do. Just let me know ahead of time what the situation is.
I do think that, in my opinion, Raz, it would be best to go out at the last battle. We're expecting a lot of bodies anyway. Hopefully
Yeah.
not, but we're prepared for such a thing. But it'll be our final battle. More than likely something like that would happen there.
Yeah. Especially if we're going up against Grievous. That
And
could be the
whatever.
opportune moment.
especially with whatever person is accompanying him in such a raid on a city.
Mhm.
I still remember. There's someone else, and I feel like I know who it is, and I'm mad about it.
But it does leave one thing in mind. I mean, I do appreciate you telling me, but is that it for as far as your circle of trust extends? What about, that other...
That's all on Raz to decide on who he wishes us to trust with such a thing.
I have been thinking, and I think we should... I don't believe it'd be wise for just us 5 to know. I think we should let a select few in on this. Those we trust, those who can keep this a secret, those who can investigate more into Throne if need be.
Right. I think we can, just keep us in the know, and we can try to let those people in whenever possible.
Yeah, and to be honest, the more...
Sorry.
No, you go. You go ahead. Oh, okay. What was it? Oh, yeah. And the more allies we have, the better of a chance we'll have at pulling this off and maybe ending the ruse sooner than later safely.
Do you have anyone else in mind that you'd like to tell? I do believe that the Rough Riders should know to keep your identity secret. Especially if you are turning to become one of them.
Yeah, I'm still gaining back. Still trying to gain back Lieutenant Brass's trust, but I believe they have the right to know. It could give us an edge, and with how many missions I've gone on with them, it'd feel wrong to keep them in the dark.
Is there anyone else in mind that you would like to tell?
He's not on Jabim, but he could be a really good ally to have.
Who did you have in mind?
I believe we met him on Ryloth, Commander Scar. He's with the 41st, but he didn't bat an eye at all about my past allegiance. And he seems to take more of a do it his own way approach to things.
I agree. In fact, I'm pretty sure if Scar were on this planet, he might be butting heads with such a thing.
Oh, I think you're right about that. I think I heard him mention once that he doesn't tolerate those who abuse the rules to their own agendas. That could come in handy.
If I may, at least I can understand if you don't want to tell him, but there is Bruiser as well. If he hears that you're dead, kid, or even thinks it, he's gonna get hit pretty hard.
right.
Again, it's your call. I don't want to sway you in either way, but it is at least a person to consider in the equation. All the men
Do you
in the 99th look towards you, even for whether it's inspiration or even respect. But they will.
I do believe that only Bruiser should know. Maybe even Sora, considering how close the two of them are to us. Telling the whole
Yeah.
battalion might not be the best option.
Probably not. Keep this as tight-lipped as possible.
Keep it with the heads, at least, so they know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sora and Bruiser could be good allies. Hell, part of their armor is dedicated to me. If we go with anyone else outside, if we go with the heads of people we trust, what about Rex?
We could tell. I mean, if we are to do anything such as that, I would tell Rex. I feel like he'd be able to keep a secret like that better under wraps rather than Cody.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
considering Cody is working on the same team with Thrawn, that might be risky.
Speaking of that, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Speaking of such a thing, I will do my best to possibly make sure records are clean from the Jedi with my master status. I'll keep this as under wraps as possible.
And Rex is a good man. I think he's still indebted to you, Raz, because I believe you saved, if it wasn't you, then someone in your group that's rescued him, I think, when he was under control of those Genoshan worms. I don't know if it was him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
God, that
Wait,
was forever
yeah.
That was
ago.
ages. I think that
Yeah.
was a question mark?
That was
Yeah,
Group effort.
it was either Chase or it was, I think, Soren.
Yeah.
Because
One of the two, but the
Kappa
group.
was still with us.
God.
Yeah, but
No, yeah.
it was either Viper or Soren, but it was like ultimately a group effort in freeing
Yeah.
Rex and everybody else on that ship.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, fair
And without
enough.
killing the clones, which is like big bonus
Brownie
points in
points.
his points.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Raz didn't want any clone to get killed, so that might win Rex over in his favor.
I do forget. Is Soren still like around, or he? I think he went
He's
AWOL.
searching for his sister.
Yeah, he's alive. He's just on his own currently.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. All right, but yeah, I'd say yeah, Bruiser just kind of not Bruiser, fucking Patch is like big agreement as far as Rex as a candidate for who to let in on this big secret with.
Those are who come to mind, at least at the moment. The Rough Riders, Rex, Scar, Bruiser, Sora.
I do.
Yeah?
I do have something else. Other than clearing your bases with D-Gag, I suggest you also clear your ground with Anakin. Because something is itching at the back of my mind. I feel like that kid might find it odd that such a formidable opponent such as you managed to fall so easily. Might want to clear things up. Not tell him, but at least settle the score, if that makes sense. Have a nice send-off in a way.
I mean, I'll put this out there as far as what Raz would know, because I think it was Shiri, like, you kind of held him back from, like, force choking or being, like, especially, like, brutal with those Jabimi or, like, clone traders who were gonna, like, basically blow up the battalion and stop them from advancing through the canyon, but... Yeah, and I think that, like, Raz and Anakin have a better standing now. Like, they're not, like, best of buddies, but you know, they'll watch each other's back.
It's kind of like a friendly rival.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, if anything, Shiri sees it as, oh, Anakin's gonna find it fucking weird that his friendly rival fucking fell so easily. Something's gonna, this kid is gonna be like, yo, what the fuck?
I mean, like,
that's not a like
like
I'm trying to say, like,
to be the
I'm not
most
trying
fair
to say
Raz.
I'm not trying to say go and fucking tell Anakin. I'm saying at least, like, what's the word I'm looking for? End things on a good note with him.
Yeah, I will at least put this out there. Fucking Raz almost died to Grievous last time they encountered. The chances aren't zero that, like, if Anakin's told, like, fucking goddamn Grievous went ahead and killed Raz, he would be like, oh shit. I mean,
dude, I'm gonna be
sad,
honest.
but
Last time it was like a year and a half ago when we fought Grievous, maybe even more.
Oh, I do remember though. I almost died.
Oh yeah, it was
and
like,
Viper almost died.
It was several like years ago at this point. Outside of game, in game, it's only been like 6 months.
Yeah.
Wild that you guys like advanced like what, fucking 7 levels in that amount of time. But hey, war's crazy like that.
It's my little brain is. A lot has happened. I was living in Florida when this still happened.
It's been a hot minute. I still have all of my notes from back then.
Pretty sure I was still in Florida when that shit fucking happened, but yeah.
And I'm still here.
Yeah, Chase is holding down the fort.
I don't want to hold down the fort. It's sinking.
You gotta get out of the fort, man.
It's ground zero for my people, man.
Brother, I'd rather be in Florida than have to deal with freezes in Texas.
Yeah.
That's extremely fair.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take fucking Florida humidity over this godforsaken heat wave. But anyhow, yeah. So it is not out of the realm that Anakin could just believe that Raz died. Is he going to be emotionally scarred? That's pretty high likelihood.
This is the Anakin we're talking about.
So with Shiri, then she's just going to look at Raz and be like, if I were you, I understand this little friendly rivalry that you two have, but at least end it on a good note. Give the kid, I don't know, like a nice fight to send you off on. Something nice that you can close on.
Yeah. Pretty sure he'd appreciate that. And it's not like it wouldn't be a surprise if he heard that I did fall to the likes of someone like Grievous. Considering, me and Viper almost died to him a while back. That could be believable enough. I do worry though, there's darkness in him, I can tell. I've seen it. And I worry with my death, he's using quotations.
Yeah.
Would do to him.
And that's why I always suggest such a thing.
Yeah, he seems...
Like it or not.
Go ahead.
Because like it or not, I'm pretty sure that kid cares for you as much as he doesn't like to admit it.
Yeah, I've cared for him in the few weeks I've had to deal with therapy for this guy. He does have his emotions, but when he has a comrade in battle, he sticks his neck out for him, almost to his own detriment, but he's still young, so can't entirely blame him for that. Sense of justice and all.
Yeah, he's a bit of a hothead, but there's good in him, I can tell. When all this goes down, keep an eye on him, Shiri.
You know I will.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want him to do something he'll regret.
If you must know, I haven't spoken about it just yet, but as soon as since D-Gag has left me, I don't believe that I'm taking on any more students. I wish to be a mentor for all. And I believe that I can help Anakin with such a thing. We had one sit down so far, and I'm hoping he takes up my offer of coming to me whenever he needs it. So in those lessons, I'll be sure to keep an eye out.
I think you'd be a great mentor to him.
I'd like to think so as well.
Thank you.
And Patch will just kind of go over and give like a nice little like hand on the shoulder to Raz before kind of going into a quick like tight, man hug. Just goes,
Aw, he'd sink into it and hug back.
I'm sorry you're going through all this, kid. But you're not defined by what you did. You're defined by what you survived.
Thanks, Patch.
And quickly cutting back over to Beren with Waxer
All this,
and Boyle.
all this is happening. Drama. Meanwhile, Baron's hanging out with the boys.
Yeah, I'd say, I'd say the boys are kind of going like, like Waxer and Boyle kind of asking Beren all these like basically like Baron's stats as far as like, wait, you killed how many people all on your own? Like basically like kind of asking Baron's sort of feats of like Mandalorian strength and kind of achievement, how he climbed up the ladder and all that jazz.
I mean, like, two notable ones. He'll, like, talk about how he lost his Laku to Kiadi-Mundi.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I heard he
and
got kicked out the order. God was a real fucking bit of a dick, isn't he?
Oh, honey.
Yeah.
Oh, honey.
Oh, honey. And the other one is he'll mention that, like, and then after that, Beren thought it was due to a misunderstanding wise to attack Obi-Wan Kenobi and got his ass handed to him, so...
No way. You fought General Kenobi?
Mm-hmm. Like, the thought's a generous word. Dude, I got wiped.
Dude, I got wiped. He goes, I mean, let's say Waxer or Boyle will kind of like, you lasted like, what, 5 seconds?
A bit longer than that, I'll be generous and say I lasted about 5 minutes, but that was mostly because, to begin with, it was like, he was being, defensive fighting and trying to talk to me, but, me being stupid did not listen.
So, do you just, I mean, I know this is like more Waxer talking again. So, I know the Republic we have, Master Skywalker, he tends to be more of a, as far as I've seen the kid's strategies, he'd be more headstrong, just charging in with his numbers, sometimes a bit of a bolder strategy, but for Mandalorians, do you just tend to rush in when, odds are like 10 to 1 of success?
Yeah. I mean, you do what's right, right?
I'll just kind of like look towards each other, a little bit confused at that line, and say even like even Boyle will kind of bring up like, all right, so you could handle Master Kenobi on your own. How many Mandalorians would you think would be needed to, give him a good show? We'll say.
It depends, I think. If it was, I could probably last longer now against him than I did before, but I wouldn't want to test that theory. In like a serious fight, I would not want to test that theory. And then it also depends on the Mandalorians involved, because divided up by people who are into more artillery, then there are people like me who use swords, more close combat at fighting. So yeah, I think it really depends on like a variety of those. But if if Cara Wren hadn't lost her arm, I think Cara Wren could have kicked Obi-Wan's ass. Like, Beren's serious about that. Like, she could have done it, or at least gave him a good run for his money.
So your mom must be one tough cookie then, eh?
That's putting it lightly.
Does feel a bit foolhardy. I mean, if I had a sword, I wouldn't be charging at a Jedi first thing. But hey, if it's part of the way, I suppose
Well, it's not just our armor that's made of Beskar. He'll pull out one of his swords and like scratch it against like some of the Beskar plating on his armor, and you can see like the sound that it makes. Yeah, it's like these are Beskar as well, and they can block Jedi blades.
Ooh, oh, that's nice. All right. I'm trying to think of what else they might ask. I think, like, it kind of just goes into a debate of, like, how many Mandalorians do you think it would take to kill X or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
And, like, it goes, like, all right, how many for Grievous or against, like, this other clone or whatever. Like kind of going into, like, the tactics of the Mandalorian side of things and just, getting more feel of your fighting style, Ren. I think, Beren, I think they might also pry into, like, your thoughts on the Jedi you've been fighting with so far. They'll at least share that Obi-Wan is, he's, General does treat us good, but he's really not suited for the rougher parts of the battlefield just yet. He definitely has his age on him ever since the Battle of Naboo, all those years prior, but still not used to the rough and tumble of good old blood and bone, mud and rain warfare.
Then, Beren gave his opinion that there are very few Jedi that, well, one that he knows, and then two that, like, have any kind of respect from him. And Obi-Wan and obviously Shir'iven are, like, the two most important Jedi to him that he values and is respectful of, especially Shiri, because Shiri's the Mandalore currently. And with Anakin, it's like he can respect Anakin's like as a warrior, but at the same time he's a kid, and it shows through the things that he does. His lack of control a lot of the time, and Beren can't fault him for that because Beren used to be the same. He tried to take down the drug lords that killed his parents as one of the first things he did. Yeah, that didn't go very well, and he had to be bailed out. So yeah, Baron's and then there's obviously people who are force sensitive that he respects, like Raz being an ex-Sith but not a Jedi. But
Mhm.
yeah, like Beren respects him, and yeah, so it's
Okay.
but as like a group, like as a group, he doesn't like nor trust the Jedi very
Mm.
much, but he will accept that there are individuals within it who hold up the good parts and care about maintaining those good parts. It's the flagrant lack of addressing any of the bad parts that pisses him off so much about the Jedi.
I think the last thing they might ask as far as like, I mean, I know Anakin's one thing, but what about that kid that's, supposedly gonna be his Padawan, I think they call it. Yeah, he's in. What are your thoughts on her? She seems a little bit green around the gills for a place like this.
Bern will say, well, I have to like Ahsoka. She's a Togrutan. What can I say? But no, she's a good kid. And Baron sees a lot of potential in her, but does agree that like this isn't the place for it. Like, is even though he comes from like the Mandalorian background where they pretty much put a weapon in your hand as soon as you're able to hold one. They don't go and shove you onto a battlefield. It's very different.
Yeah.
So yeah, he doesn't agree with her being here, but like yeah, he can respects her as like a kid and sees potential in her.
All right. Yeah, conversation kind of goes on, and
plus it's just nice to see another Togrutan.
Yeah, the conversation will go on a bit more. They ask about, kind of your history with the Mandalorians, learn more about, the non-warrior affiliated side of, like, what it comes to being a Mandalorian. And, like, they even learn about, like, I never knew that as part of this we are considered Mandalorians. At least our trainers, Waxer and Boyle's trainers were just normal bounty hunters. Just because, and they were told, like, hey, just because you wear, there's a lot of legacy behind that helmet. You are, at the end of the day, a soldier for the Republic. Training's just kind of, like, in your blood. And, yeah, just because, you come from, Mandalorian blood does not make you that. There's a whole rite and process to kind of go about it. And, yeah, they're taught to be detached from their Mandalorian heritage.
Yeah, like, Beren disagrees with that because, like, his clan is one of the few that, like, recognizes clones as being Mandalorian, and for him it's not because of like the face of Jango Fett and the legacy of that, especially because Clan Rin does not have entirely the best bond with the Fett clan exactly. So yeah, there's that, and then also as well, it isn't the way that the soldiers themselves act. They have honor and they are respectful, and they do follow a creed, even if it's slightly different from the traditional Mandalorian one. So, like, yeah, to Beren, they are Mandalorians.
Nice. Yeah, I'd say they're definitely swayed off by that. I mean, hell, they'll get into their own kind of, arguments or discussions as far as, like, like, I'm more Mandalorian than you are. Like, I was... whatever.
Yeah.
But, nah, it's a good conversation that you have for the rest of your patrol, and kind of go over to Viper. Anything you're doing in your time alone, kind of processing like this ultimatum that Thrawn has given you? Anyone you want to speak to or do before the next leg of this campaign?
There's a lot that's going on in Viper's little cranium. Oh boy. I mean, just like, I'd say the point has come past him where he's just like, he's stopped just like feeling guilty for himself, because now everyone's on it. So now it's just like, it's more of just sort of like, who does he go to? I mean, not exactly who does he go to now. It's just like, he feels like he doesn't really have, not saying that he doesn't have anyone to talk to, but it's more of just like, everyone's got their things planned. So now it's just sort of like, keep to just like, keep to himself, and then just like keep to just like wanting to make sure that Thrawn just like believes the plan. So he's just sort of focusing on that and sort of steeling himself for that conversation.
Okay. All right. I'll say, in this kind of moment of reprieve, you're thinking to yourself all these things, and as like you're kind of, either like you're kind of washing off or getting, ready to actually hit the hay, as you kind of look into a mirror, on one side, like sort of like the left, like in the mirror, the left side, you like see like sort of like, a Jango Fett's head kind of looking towards you as like, the voice in your mind permeates going,
We can't let that kid die. We swore an oath to him. Or at least we told him we have to watch out for Boba. We can't
and then the Trandoshan's name that I totally remember?
Churdrig.
Yeah. He kind of, his voice on the right side of your head goes like,
We've got to... You know what they'll do, the likes of us. We're just a soldier to them. If we don't do our job, we get tossed in the trash. We've got to put the kid down when the time is right. You don't want to be thrown away to the wayside like the other failures, don't you?
The voices, when will they stop? Viper sort of just sighs, rubs his eyes a little bit. It's still... Now it's just coming off more as an annoyance rather than just sort of like being perpetually freaked the fuck out.
Oh yeah.
So he just looks at both of them and just utters just a simple "shut up," and then walks away from the mirror and gets ready for what comes next.
Okay.
Ooh. Before the night ends, can I talk to Viper?
No, for sure. Go for it. Like you're like in.
It could like be after it could be like after his outburst in the mirror.
Oh yeah, I'd say like you wouldn't have like caught it, but like if you want to like go to his tent, check up on him before he gets to say, absolutely, you can do that for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to see my force ghosts? They're called mental illness.
Bruh.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it'd probably be like after you walk away from the mirror, you'd hear the tent open. Viper?
Oh, hey kid, sorry, more. What? Just like knocks to his head, just like more of this, keeping me awake.
How's that going? And he walks further into the tent, closing it behind him.
Not the best, but also not the worst. I mean, but
didn't
still
Patch...
mostly worse.
Right. Didn't Patch give you something, or talked about giving you something for that?
Yeah, he did. If push comes to shove and it gets really agitating, I'll let him know first thing.
Good. That's good. I just wanted to let you know there's no hard feelings over what's happening. I don't blame you at all for this.
It's just hard, you know? I never really asked for any of this, you know? I'm trying to do the best. I'm trying to be the best soldier that I can be. For everyone's sake. Now, for your sake, stuff with Thrawn, the Emperor, I mean Palpatine, it's just all too much.
Yeah, it's a lot. Not to mention my vision. I feel like the weight of the galaxy's on my shoulders all the time with that.
Can I ask you something, kid?
Huh?
Can I ask you something, Raziel?
Go ahead.
Your time with Maul and going from where you were then to where you are now. How did you crawl out of that? Break away from that darkness? Find yourself again?
It wasn't easy. There were plenty of moments where I just clung on to this obsession with getting vengeance and avenging what happened to my mother and my village. But it's because of my love for my mother that I found myself clinging onto the light ever so often. One thing that's similar to the Jedi and the Sith is their, I guess you could call it a forbidden law to attachment. Maul didn't want me to get attached to anything about my past, but I still kept her necklace anyway. It's what got me through most nights. Whenever I doubted what I was doing it for her. But there was I got to a point where I questioned if what I was doing was right, if she would have wanted this, or if she'd be ashamed of what I was becoming. I think what snapped me out of it, I was on a mission with Maul, on Geonosis, and was in charge of keeping Senator Padme a prisoner. Despite being a guard, I spoke to her. And she was unlike any other politicians I ever met. Kind and nurturing. She reminded me a lot of my mother. And when she told me that Maul just attacked her planet because he could, because of that lust for power and vengeance, that's not what I was doing. I didn't walk that path to do to others what was done to my village. I never wanted to become that monster. Never wanted to betray my own ideals and beliefs, so I stood up to him. When I initially fought against Shiri and her group, I stood up to Maul, saved Padme and the others, and the rest, well, been trying to do the right thing ever since to make up for what I did before.
Viper sort of nods, finding some semblance and also a little bit of just sort of like resemblance and just sort of like not wanting to be that person. Reminds him a lot of just his earlier days with his own commandos, Scalar, Nova, Titan.
Yeah. I'll say to kind of add a bit more context, like even just so you can, really sympathize with Raz a bit more. Yeah, the way Viper was brought up, it was very kind of cold almost. Like, yeah, like sure, you were giving your praises as far as like, oh, like, yeah, you aced this combat course, or, you did, CQC training very well. At the end of the day, you still felt, like the difference between feeling like a product and feeling like a soldier was, the line felt very blurred. Like the Kaminoans would, yeah, the Kaminoans would just kind of regard you like, yeah, like, even though like, who knows, maybe by a few years in clone time wise, like pretty much like half like normal human lifespan or whatever, or like growth rate. You guys had already like made names for each other and were becoming like, like your own personal family. But the Kaminoans always refer to you as C0947. Like every even the bounty hunters did, or like or like they go like 47 or some shit. But they'd shorten up, but never like you never even had a real sense of identity, like that you're your own person. And meanwhile Raz had it, but was still kind of just had his emotions toyed with basically his entire
Damn, you had a childhood. I wonder what that was like.
Lol.
Yeah.
I'd imagine Viper would tell Raz all this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
So flavor up
More-
if there's
more-
anything else you wanna,
Oh yeah, just. I know it's just obvious to say, but us clones didn't exactly have a quote-unquote childhood of sorts. Especially for me and my other brothers like me. Titan, Scalar, especially Nova. When you're experimental batch, your training process is a bit different from the others. A lot of ostracization. A lot of seeing those who came before you or came after you just turned away. Gone. Forever. Every day we didn't know whether our genetics would mesh well or we'd go to sleep and never wake up. I always kept my serial number rather than finding a name of my own. Hell, I envy Nova and the others. They figured himself out more than I could. Identity. And now that I've got two voices in my head, both of them I barely even know or resent, it's just trying to break away from that, not wanting to lose myself to either or. Being me. Figuring out what makes Viper Viper. I know you keep saying that I'm more than just a soldier. I'm more than just a number, but still worries me about everything. It's these memories, these damned shadows in my head that got us into this mess, and if I lose any of you because of them, then I'm no better than the people who came before me.
The more I hear about how you were brought up by the Kaminoans, the more I have issues with them.
Get a ticket, pal, you ain't the first one.
That's reassurance. You're sentient beings at the end of the day, regardless of whether you were brought up in a tube or born an organic or not. You feel things, you think things. The fact that you're worried over all this proves it. can only sympathize what you went through. Not having a childhood, I did, until Maul took me in and it was different. Sure, I was given some agency, but I was manipulated the whole time. Questioned on my morality and my choices. Though you and your brothers and sisters being experimented on by the Kaminoans, I guess I can relate to that a little bit. I underwent some experiments with Professor Zomo. That horrible guy, you met him. Nasty piece of work.
Great.
And, he didn't just give me scars. He tested me in all sorts of ways to test my endurance and my ability for combat. He treated me like a weapon. And those moments with him were some of the worst memories of my life. Every time, each experiment would almost kill me, but me being stubborn, I just bounced back. But I do worry what those tests did to me in the long run. If they just made me stronger, or if there was something else. We're not defined by our past. We're not defined by what we're told we are. We're defined by our actions and our beliefs, not as weapons, but as soldiers. Warriors. Good men.
And he just sort of looks up at him, at Raziel, places a hand on his shoulder, and even though he doesn't need to say it, and he, after the many talks that they've had like this before, you know that you look into his eyes and he says, you look into his eyes, and that's just the eyes of saying you're more than a good man. You're a great man.
He gives a small smile and nods and kind of grips your arm in reassurance. We'll do what we can to help you with your memories, Viper. You're not alone.
Thank you.
Alright. Very, very good shit.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, I will say we can sort of fast forward a little bit as the long rest will kind of kick on in as you get ready for the next day. Everybody, sleep soundly. I'll at least give this one note for Viper, that every so often, while like the majority of your dreams are kind of, of Camino and, the heavy rainfall and just like how very overall soothing it was whenever you were in combat, even though it was kind of boring to look at, it's, you could get used to living on a place like that after a while. But every so often, your viewpoint changes of, from that of a young Viper and Nova, Scales, and Titan kind of...
Titan.
Yeah, running around the camp as young, clone cadets. It changes from that to sometimes you become Jango. And you see young Boba training with, other, like, older clones at this point. or you're even training with Boba yourself, and you know, like those yeah, it's interspersed memories, and like you're seeing Boba really kind of like take the shape of who he is right now, and but the only big thing that has gone is like, yeah, the childhood innocence completely sapped from this kid, and kind of takes on that, you know, sort of blunt nature that clones and even Django tend to have, that still persists through most clones today. But yeah, that is how the rest of your evening goes. All right. Let's see. How are we feeling on time? Yeah, we're still. I'd say we can take a quick tenor right here, and we'll see what, you know, the next, you know, hour and a half ish is looking like. But yeah, it is. Yeah, it is about to be 1 for me, or top of the new hour. So we'll see you back at a quick 10 minutes. Sound good, everybody?
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
See y'all in a hot minute.
See you in 10.
All right. Jesus. Right, we have returned. But yeah, we're just gonna go for a little bit more, see where this story takes us. Hopefully, not leave y'all hanging, chomping at the bit too much. But yeah, as the next day arrives, you know, things are, you know, you guys are able to hold on to these two command posts. I'll even say, throw you a bone and say that with the help of some of the 501st, Anakin, Imogundi's units, they're able to actually go ahead and take over, kind of in their stead, the next little command post right between the two of y'all right here. So.
Based.
Oh yeah. So, you guys are officially, like, you know, the separate, like, the forces are getting spread a little bit thin, but, you know, like, no, like, major losses or casualties, you know, to take over that one. You still, yeah, Anakin's units still have, you know, very much intact walkers, all the Jabimi, you know, the Jabimi rebels on their side are still very much know the terrain and can, like, you know, spot down the traps. And, like, once you're in this side, you're heading more to mountainous foresty type territory. But yeah, you are making good good progress towards the capital, at least on the surface. But I mean, I will say, yeah, because I forget, was it the rebels or like the leader of the Jabimi Nash rebels, kind of, who told you about, like, the sewage passageways from the outside of the city?
Yeah, I think it was the
leader, because like he had a whole
Yeah.
against Beren about being Mandalorian.
That's right, the leader Helbeck is his
Helbeck,
name, I
yeah.
believe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's, yeah, literally just that Langley. What the hell is his name? The colonel from Avatar. Like, that's literally, I was inspired by him. Avatar.
Oh yeah, Lex Lang's character.
Yeah, Miles Quaritch, but Star Wars.
That's right. Helbeck Shivani.
Yeah. As yeah. So you have at least
I
that knowledge.
I differentiate that with Blue People Avatar over Avatar: The Last Airbender.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, with that in mind, you have your forces making headway to the capital, or at least they're maybe like another day or two before, who knows, like, y'all are pretty confident that Obi-Wan and the rest can potentially handle the other command posts on their own, as far as, like, you know, kind of waiting for a signal. Like, yeah, as long as those heavy shields are up, ain't nothing getting past there. Like, at most, you know,
Ain't
Grievous-
nothing.
yeah, like, maybe Grievous can send more. Like, I'd say the only slightly concerning thing is that, you know, those droid gunships that you encountered the first time, like, on the way to Jabim, have not reappeared since the encounter. Like, sure, yeah. So, and a couple did at least survive. You guys were able to destroy one, but, like, yeah, like, the last one, like, swarm of them, like, tore up through your reinforcements before. But, yeah, I mean, you guys, I mean, it's just down to y'all how you're forming your strats for what to do next.
Hang on, let me look at the map again. Where are we?
Yeah, y'all are right over. Yeah, y'all are still at the same point that you captured before. I think it's shift ping. There we go. Yeah, you're
Okay.
over at
And
this
then-
one.
And then all the ones that we have are the green, in control of, are the green ones, right?
Mhm. Yeah, I'm just moving some units
Okay.
around. So you've got some Jabimis here. You got some clones and other Jabimis with Anakin. Yeah, he'd probably be going with
What was?
Ahsoka.
Wasn't our plan to, like, kind of infiltrate in there or something as like under disguises?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, you guys still have plenty of, you know, Jabimi.
We back.
Yeah, welcome back. Yeah.
Nice. Welcome back.
So, yeah, you still have plenty of Jabimi, officer and soldier clothes lying around. You'd have to kind of mismatch, mix and match some. I mean, to kind of make it work. I mean, I think the only ones who would really stick out in those disguises would probably be just, Beren and Sherry at the most. But,
Yeah, because the Leiku.
Fuck us with our Leiku, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, you can form the strategy. I will say, depending on what it is you come up with, Obi-Wan and, the other folks can decide what they're willing to spare to give you, as far as resources, because, Anakin and Ahsoka and, every one of their units were able to take that next command post pretty, single-handedly or, with minimal effort, but resources are still, the name of the game as far as, what you're willing to spend and what you need to, take back the planet.
Are we still going with the whole fake capture of Shiri or?
Oh yeah, that's right. That I did mention that.
Yeah.
Because if that's
Yeah.
the case, Beren would have to go with you, because I feel like the enemy might find it suspicious if, the Mandalore's protector is not there too.
No, I understand.
Okay.
Shiri would definitely understand it, because hey, 2 captured people on the Republic side, better than 1.
Yep.
And plus, it's one of the main people in the GAR at the minute, which would be gunning basically for anybody who so much as looked at Shiri wrong. So
Okay.
yeah, probably best for him to go there too, because then they might be off their guard a little bit, thinking, oh, we've got 2 of the not important but strong people, or people we were most concerned about, I guess, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And with Shiri and Beren sticking out the most because of their the Leiku, it would be probably simpler or easier for
Navigate
them
that
to
whole
be
issue.
yeah, exactly, to be seen as the prisoners, while Raz and Viper or anybody else can disguise themselves as the soldiers, and they can infiltrate the sewers that way.
Well, look at this. Beren's going to be a responsible adult and is going to tell Patch that that's his plan.
Oh.
Just so Patch doesn't get a sudden notification that, hey, your boyfriend's been fucking captured.
He's gonna be wait, what?
He gets
Wait,
the
what?
notification, and he will, in response.
Yeah, he gets
to
a text in it, and it says just so you know, I'm planning on getting captured with Shiri. So don't worry too much.
He just texts back, "K."
Damn, I got a K. Damn.
Damn.
But to be fair, he's probably used to your shit at this point,
He's gonna
so
put a
Yeah.
sad little emote.
It goes and you just get another text a few minutes later being if you die, I'll bring you back and kill you again.
Absolutely valid. Understandable, babe.
I love you're not even fine with it. It's yeah, Baron's a bastard. Just yeah.
Oh man, I better not die. That would suck.
I mean, listen, you're a fighter. If you die, that would be.
Yeah, that would suck.
Hey, listen, if anyone's gonna die, it's gonna be me, and it's gonna be fake.
Not if I do it first.
I found you,
Wouldn't it be funny if Shiri died?
Oh no!
It's the seriousness. Whoa, hang on now.
No, because Beren would lose all of his honor. Please don't do this.
This is turning into the fucking Infinity War scene of just Hawkeye and Black Widow just racing to jump off the cliff.
Yeah. I'm gonna die. No, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna do it.
All right. So, with that in mind, so we have, I'd say Raz and Viper. You're very capable in finding, enough mixed and matching enough armor parts, in decent enough condition that you can reasonably pass, at least on the surface, as Jabimi, elites. Or I forget, what name I gave them specifically. So I thought I did something for... Yeah, Jabimi Commandos. But yeah, so with that in mind, and we have, Beren and Shiri, I'm assuming y'all are just gonna get, manacles on yourselves and give your weapons to Raz and Viper to hold on to.
What now?
Yeah.
What was that?
Oh yeah, you're giving your weapons for Viper and Raz to hold on to, really pass up that you are, captured.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I'm not saying this to get Shiri in trouble or anything, but I'm just does Shiri need specifically the force dampening cuffs? Would the other people recognize that she wasn't wearing them, or is that something we can get away with?
I think that, well, hear me out on this. With how in the last base and everything that we invaded, considering they were working with the Separatists in a way, would they already have those things?
That is a good question. I will say, for the sake of ease, the commandos are well equipped, but I will not necessarily enough to the point of, oh yeah, they have specifically stuff for detaining
Right.
force
But I
fielders
mean-
and things.
Yeah.
But so I'll say they don't have those, but I mean, it's not out of I'd say if someone like Raz is kind of taking the lead, trying to lie to y'all of oh yeah, we found them caught them off guard, knocked their asses out, and surrender them. It's probably can really reasonably pass that those people might once you get closer to the capital where security is much tighter, then yeah, that equipment might be a little bit more readily available. But yeah, I'm presuming you're telling Obi-Wan and the other, informing the other
yeah.
Jedi of this.
Yeah.
It depends. Do we need to sell it at all? In some kind of way?
I think enough to the point where we can infiltrate. That's really it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think then we'd probably just tell Obi-Wan because, Shiri has his private comm, right? So
Yeah.
so you'd be able to contact him. Or at least
Yeah,
be
I
able to contact him from another comm because you know his details.
Yeah, I can contact him now if you want.
Yeah, while we're trapped inside. You have a
Yeah.
connection to him.
Yep.
Yeah, obviously we can definitely do that.
Okay.
Sure thing.
So yeah, you tell Obi-Wan about you're going and being captured, and he'll kind of respond being Shir'iven, my dear, I'm only a little bit concerned. I mean, you can only get away with the fake capture routine so many times before they catch on.
I mean,
Seeing the Clone Wars. I've seen how many times you do it, buddy. Excuse me? Very rich.
I mean,
Okay.
who's to say?
Look, hindsight is 20/20, but look, you are going in rather blind. I mean, are you sure you can feasibly get through long enough to find any weak points in their defenses or able to shut down their shields?
Well, as soon as we get in there and we are able to split off in a way that's easy enough that doesn't cause too much of a commotion, I will radio you and we'll get you in. It's our best bet. Look, the people here, they trust the Separatists more than the Republic. This is our only chance.
Imagundi kind of weighs in with it is a very risky maneuver, but It may be, in fact, our only shot. Anakin just, he's like been in and out of combat, like kind of still adjusting to the prosthesis, but as headstrong as he is, still will try to get his licks in when he can. But in response to all this, going, well, Master, if you think it is the best course of action, just be careful once you're inside, all of you. Grievous is probably cooking up some nasty last resort, now that we're this close to his borders. I'll say Obi-Wan will at least chime in with, we can handle the rest of the command post ourselves. We'll just contact myself or Master Imagundi if we, for any updates as far as, progress inside the capital. Communications may be limited, but if you can find the jamming, whatever might be jamming frequencies, that can certainly assist in easing communication with us.
All right. So we have a plan. We'll be sure to map out as much of the city as we possibly could. Try to point out any ways that you can easily get in without causing too much of a commotion as well. We go from there, and we try to settle the score with the Grievous.
We can only hope. See you on the other side. As he kind of like gives a two-finger salute and goes like, right, men, prepare to move out. As like, the walkers are getting ready to mobilize on the remaining command posts. And yeah, I will say, Bruiser will kind of come up to you, Raz, in your newfound kind of disguise and goes, for as good, I gotta say, kid, these Jabimi armor doesn't exactly quite fit you, I will say. A little bit big on you.
Give me a few years and I'll grow into it. But I like clone armor better, between you and me.
Nothing really beats that. You really think this is the best strat?
Yes, at least what we have at our disposal, it's our best strat. Brute force isn't gonna do it as long as the shields are up. And we want to minimize casualties as much as we can. Plus, we're pretty used to stealth operations, so it should go okay.
Of course. Well, in that instance, I was gonna let you know that much as I think, you're ready to get that speed of yours back, probably not the best to, ride into, keep up that guise if you're coming in on a Republic-sanctioned speeder bike. But we did manage to find some Jabimi speeders that you can take in the garages. One for you and Beren.
Out of character, is this brass?
This is brass, yes.
Okay, I thought you said bruiser before, so I just want to double check.
Yeah, I might have said bruiser. I've really, I just, they're gonna get mixed up.
This start with the letter B.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, after he says that, I think we can handle that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Just watch each other's backs. And try to stay alive, kid. As he kind of like, hand on the shoulder, like bit of a, then handed to the cheek, and then, gets ready to mount up himself.
Yeah, you too.
And just so I am aware, would you guys have told, the people you need to tell prior to going in, or are you saving that?
I was gonna ask about that actually, because if we go in to the city and undo the shield and everything, it's pretty much the final stretch of the campaign on Jabim.
Mm-hmm.
Like, once we go in, there's no turning back.
Right.
Is that correct?
That's a fair assumption, yeah.
Okay, so boy, I think it'd be fair to say then I feel like it'd be best to man.
Yeah, ultimately this is a party choice, so yeah, feel free to discuss.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
like party consensus. I get the feeling it'd be best to inform those we decided to tell before we go in, like say early dawn or something in a private meeting or something. Would that be fair to say? That'd probably be the best course to take,
Yeah.
and
so
then
that nobody's thrown off.
yeah, and then everybody else kind of after, because you need at least some people to not know in order to sell it, as bad as that sounds.
No, that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it would be a matter of who we tell now and who we tell later then.
Mm.
Or unless we're relying on the people who don't know to sell it, but
There should be at least one higher up Jedi, I think, that we don't tell, just because the other side are more likely to believe it if they see, like, you know.
Yep, not telling
higher
Obi-Wan.
ranking- Oh, okay.
okay, that answers that.
I was like Imagundi, I guess. And you had no.
I mean, because
Fucking
here's the
Obi-Wan.
thing. I don't think that we should tell Obi-Wan, especially because, like, it's... Like, Thrawn is his commanding officer.
That's kind of what I was thinking, yeah.
That's actually very fair. Good point.
I
That's
just
what I was
don't think
thinking.
that it's good to do that. As much as I would like him to know, it just we can't do that, especially if we want to sell the fact that he's dead. If we wanted to tell a Jedi, I honestly think that Quinlan or someone else would be a better option than Obi-Wan.
Yeah, especially, you know what, Quinlan probably, because he's good at the whole
Exactly.
the shady side of things and keeping secrets, and he got us those disguises before, so
And, you
he'd
know-
probably be the best bet to tell.
I mean, I don't know if this would be entirely irrelevant, but doesn't he still have the hots for Sherry or something? Or is
Yep.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
He doesn't have the hots
Yeah.
for, like, he has the hots for fucking Obi-Wan as well. Like, if you're
No, period.
He is a bi Jedi icon. Like
Exactly.
He really is.
like it's just so funny because like obviously like oh fuck, you know what, I feel like Quinlan might be a good person to ask as well for who could possibly do the reconstructive surgery.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, if not
Maybe-
Patch,
maybe
for
that-
sure.
yeah,
Quinlan
I'd
knows
say
some
maybe-
shit.
Patch's contact
Yep.
about it. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I always
Yeah.
love I love Quinlan, he's great.
I love Quinlan too.
He's great.
What a fellow.
Yeah.
What a
Underappreciated
guy.
and underused in
What a
that.
Chad.
A little bit about him.
But yeah,
Quinlan
like
Voss.
I sadly don't think that we should tell Obi-Wan, which is
Yeah.
why, like, I also brought up, like, you know, you should settle your stuff with Anakin.
Yeah, which I don't know if we're all like, I don't know if we're all at different camps, but if so,
I would say like like y'all are at like relatively different points, but I'd say like with these three closest command posts close to each other, you can very easily kind of like, you know, I mean, I would say as a general reminder, with comms being as they are, like, or at least, you know, Thrawn like knew about the thing with about Viper's call for a reason. He's probably overseeing all comm communications. So
yeah, which is why Raz would probably pull people aside to tell them privately as opposed to using comms.
yeah, I mean, yeah, and if you want to take it at it one by one, like, I'll give you their reactions and role play them out if need be, but that'll probably just be like, yeah, because yeah, Bruiser is not gonna react how Anakin is and how fucking Sara or like the rest are, etc. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, we can easily do that, like, real quick. I suppose in terms of, like, settling things with Anakin, if we're relatively close, I was thinking maybe before we embark on the mission, Raz could, like, take one of the Jabimi speeders, head over to Anakin's camp real quick and, like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
wanna spar?
Oh.
That was kind of what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you, yeah, go ahead and do that. He just kind of like raises an eyebrow, goes like, still, getting used to ready for the final battle, but sure, don't mind loosening up the old joints. As he kind of like, does that thing with like he's stretching all the fingers in his prosthetic hand. He like, kind of cracks his neck, rolls up the shoulders, and goes. You nervous for what's to come?
A little bit, but with all of our teams working together, we'll pull it off.
We'll see. And he kind of like, force grabs a rock, makes like a little circle, and like pulls out his saber, and then like does his like signature spinny move, and goes, "I'll be a good sport. You can have the first move."
Well, if you insist. And he pulls out his saber as well, getting into his stances.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is just gonna be like theater of the mind flashy real quick.
Oh, for sure.
He'll say he uses his powers to get a running head start, teleport
Okay.
to Anakin's space,
Yeah.
and try to attack from above.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Yeah, I'll say, like, it is more of a training thing, but, Anakin is still, he's still, like, playing, like, he gives it his all even in these, combats. But, yeah, you kind of, phase in right over him, and, like, yeah, like, without missing a beat, just goes like, sneak attack from above. You're getting crafty. But, he does his own kind of, like, parry, riposte, and, like, kind of, tries to, like, yeah. He's not quite fighting dirty, but, like, he's trying to use, like, the dirtiness and the mud and muck of the environment to his advantage a little bit.
Yeah, and Raz would, like, he'd do his best to maneuver around those, using his own skills to his advantage against that.
Uh-huh.
And you're relying more on your aggressive tactics. Not bad.
Well, when you lose a hand, it tends to, rile you up a little bit. As he just, like, starts getting, leans more into that aggressive, like, Form 7 style. And, yeah, he's, he is still very much, like, he's not as dark as when you first met him, but, whew, it is still there for sure.
Yeah, he can definitely sense that, being attuned to the darkness as he is. Oh, strength can only go so far when you tend to split up, and he'll move out of the way, teleport again, and try to just use his dexterity abilities to attack from behind again, get him off balance.
I'm actually going to roll an insight check for good old Anakin at his modifiers in on this. Yeah, he has no idea why, like, he just assumes this is normal training, and he's just, like, doing the witty back and forth banter.
Okay.
He's trying to read, like, yeah, this is a good fight. Like, he's...
Probably best.
Yeah.
Never to change Anakin.
Listen, he's not a wise man.
No.
He's just impassioned is all he's got.
Yeah, I imagine this will go on back and forth for a bit until before they wear themselves out too much.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I'd say like it'll probably like end like in roughly a draw, but Anakin will like kind of like through heavy sweats just kind of, wipe that off his brow. And, yeah, he's, like, still, like, underneath that, like, he's about as jacked as he is in, like, his, 2D Clone Wars cartoon look. Like, dude's been, like, hitting it. Even, like, he is, like, pretty physically, like, this is him in his, like, relatively young, but he's still, like, kind of in his prime. But kind of just goes, I do appreciate the little training session. A little bit unorthodox right before a big battle to throw those in, but that's what I like about you. You always make me expect the unexpected.
Yeah, well, figure to spar that's a bit more to our style now than when we first met was in order.
It's true. But
You've grown a lot since then.
yeah, Master has been, keeping his distance a bit with the injury, but I've grown quite accustomed to it, as he kind of like, at least like, you notice like there's like a noticeable kind of pain that jolts into his hand, but I still feel the old one sometimes, but it's an adjustment I have to make. But
Heard phantom pains are unpleasant.
indeed, but the Padawan, niece Ahsoka, she's learning quick with my style, and Master Imagundi, his counsel is very much appreciated in this times as well. But
That's good.
just don't go
Hoping Ahsoka can keep up with you. She's a good kid.
own for sure. But just don't hog all the fun when you get inside that capital. We still gotta take some of the credit for the victory.
Wouldn't dream of it. And he'll put out a hand for, like, a firm grip,
Mm-hmm. He'll
if he reciprocates.
Oh yeah, he'll extend with his bionicle hand and mechanical hand, and even though it does feel like like at this point he hasn't gotten the glove for it quite yet, even though like it for sure oh yeah, this is a prosthesis, like you feel the force running through this guy's hand. He is still like as strong, like he's got that fire in his spirit that you can feel in that handshake. But kind of like eyes you with determination, goes, good luck out there.
Same to you, Anakin. Stay safe.
Yeah. He kind of like, I'm gonna give him another insight check. Like, come on, can you try reading this boy at least once? Okay.
Can he?
Okay. 12 on the die with his stuff. He kind of like, like at that, you'll kind of like look to you, kind of give you like a double take for a moment, smile, and then kind of go back to, talking with Ahsoka. And yeah, that's all about he's up to. I mean, I don't know if anyone else wants to, how they want to deal with telling the other people on the list. If they want to handle that, so we can toss the rock around.
Yeah, we can all pitch in to do that, I guess.
Nah, for sure.
I guess we'll go down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with eeny, meeny, miny, Bruiser.
Okay. Who wants to tell our favorite homophobic clone, like, hey,
Damn. On Pride?
on
On
Pride?
Pride Month?
Hey, Pride Month is about to end, so like, who better?
Right, back in our holes, everybody.
Yeah.
No, we gotta go. Nah, now we transfer to Wrath Month, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we transfer to Wrath. So yeah, who's talking to Bruiser about it?
I mean, Beren could, but would it end well?
No, let's not do Beren.
Come on,
Does Bruiser still have the hots for Shiri, because that'll lessen the blow?
I feel like he does.
Probably, You want to give it a go?
Yeah, so we're just telling him about like Raz is going to fucking kill himself and go into hiding.
He's gonna kill
Yeah.
himself.
I mean, it's a little bit.
Essentially what we're
it's
doing.
A bit of a blunt paraphrase, but yeah.
Remind me after all this is once Raz is dead for me to draw him in the Family Guy death pose specifically.
Yeah.
Yes, please, please. I need that image. Holy shit.
I'm just picturing Raz like looking to all the clothes, be like, "Dance with me, dance the dance of life," and he just falls
Of life.
hits the tables and dies. And all the clothes are like, "Well."
Yeah. Alright, Shiri is going to go and find Bruiser.
Yep, he's getting all like thermal detonators strapped up. He's got his ammo belts ready for his Z6 rotary blaster. He's charging his little plasma shield gun and goes, General Sherry, good to see ya. Men are just about getting up and ready to go. You know, you still got my dagger on hand if, you're ever in a tight spot.
I sadly don't have it on me right now, but that's just because we wish to sell the illusion that I am captured.
Oh, for sure. That's most
But
wise,
it is
General.
still it is definitely handy, and I appreciate it, Bruiser.
Of course, I'm glad it is of use to you, sir. As he kind of like goes back to tying off his things, he has like fucking like 3 knives in each of his boots. And, like he is being armed to the teeth for this big like assault.
There is something I wish to discuss with you in private, however. I didn't wish to call over comms in case anyone could be listening.
Oh, sure, General. I'm all ears. Feel free to, you know I'm an open book.
With that, Shiri nods and leads him away to like a private area, her tent.
Yeah.
She ushers him in and she sits him down, offers anything to drink if she needs to.
Yeah, he'll go for like some, typical little best water that's available on Jabim.
Hand me
So
some of that space Dasani.
with that, Shiri sits down before him. She takes a breath and she goes, "So this is meant to be kept between certain people that we choose. My team is choosing to speak to about this matter. We believe that having you know would be the best in order to keep this under wraps as much as possible. Because you are a valued member of our squadron."
Yes, General. I appreciate that. Won't leave this tent.
Viper has been ordered to kill Raziel
What?
by Thrawn. And we are not having that. What we intend to do, Raz is going to take a bit of he's taking, what was it,
It's a neurotoxin. Yeah.
Neurotoxin, yeah.
Thank you, I couldn't find the word.
You're good.
Raz intends to take a neurotoxin provided to him by Patch. It's going to slow his heart rate during the battle with Grievous, and we're going to make it seem as if he was slain by him.
Wait. So, this is Patch's idea to do this.
Raz agrees on it. We're trying to hide the fact we're trying to hide the fact that Raz is still alive, but he'll be still operating under us. What we intend to do is, as soon as we get to Coruscant, we are to find a contact. Raz is going to undergo surgery in order to reconstruct himself. We can't let anyone know that he is alive. And I wish to keep this under wraps in the beliefs that he will stay dead and be known as someone else.
You hear like an audible growl from Bruiser at this mention. goes,
I don't like it either, Bruiser, but it's the only way to keep Thrawn off our backs.
but Thrawn's with the Republic. Why would he want Raz dead? He's as much as on our side as he is.
Personal matters, really. When Raz followed under the Sith, under Maul's command, he unknowingly killed General Thrawn's brother. So this is his way of getting back. Even if Raz has shown to change sides.
I see.
And if we wish to keep Thrawn off our backs, then we'll give him what he wishes. But he'll never know the truth.
Like, finishes his drink. He's about to walk out the tent. Like, turns around, pulls up, doesn't say anything, but like he'll stop at the edge of it and goes, I'll let this go on, but just know, if Raz does die for real, whatever you end up doing, I'll be mincing some words with Patch about that. And Thrawn.
Just don't get yourself hurt if it comes to that, Bruiser.
You know me, General. I could take quite a few hits, no matter how much deep in the poodle I get myself into. Because what is, like, your passive insight, Shir'iven?
Let me look. I don't have my sheet up, because I'm fucking stupid.
I think she also has the observant feat? And wait, or...
Yeah, I can see it.
Or something similar.
Yeah, because your insight, you're at an 8, so your passive is, like, plus 10, I think. With that, so 18.
Yeah, I also have observant. I have observant.
Yeah. So, I will say, kind of, you could tell by, like, the tone in Bruiser's voice, yeah, he's really trying to hide how angry and frustrated he is with all of this news, but he is going to go along with it. But if shit goes south, he's kind of going to go his own way, or at least, like, try to route, like, you don't know what he'll do exactly, but he's, like, he's definitely got, like, a strong sense of justice, and,
right.
Like, he loves Raz more than, like, like, some of his own, like, as much as his own brothers, and he's willing to put his life on line to ensure that he doesn't die, so at this news, like, he's very much kind of, like, riled up, but...
Yeah. Before he leaves and, like, is out the tent, she looks to him and she goes, whenever we figure out exactly what Raz wishes to become and change into, I'll let you know whatever we can.
Well, I appreciate it, General. Let's get this battle over with. See, we'll just march on out and get ready for what is to come.
That Shiri nods, and she walks out of her tent after a bit.
All right. Anyone else?
It's Bruiser.
Yeah, he was
pissed, understandably.
Yeah, Shiri's gonna just walk alongside Patch, and she's just gonna go, so Bruiser's not taking it well.
That's putting it lightly, yeah.
Patch is kind of like, hey, what do you mean by that? And so she just pats him on the shoulder, just to make sure that this doesn't fail.
For our sake,
God.
For Bruiser's sake, let's not fail this.
Bruiser's sake.
All right, who's next on the list? That's here at least.
Sora still needs to be
Yes.
talked to.
I
Sora.
mean, you can always
Um,
ask Patch to kind of like run it by them. Or, you know, like I'd say like there's
Yeah.
like personal
Ooh.
folks that you might like if there might be some people that, you know, like yeah, Patch has his connections with like super ease of access to the other ones. Like or at least people within the 99th, I'd say as far as like folks that, you know, you'd have to go to personally to tell. What's left
Rex,
is probably Rex and Obi-Wan.
But we're not telling Obi-Wan.
We're not telling
Okay,
Obi-Wan.
he's off the list.
Because
So
he's too close to Thrawn. I'm
Alright.
sorry, Obi-Wan.
that
No,
is
the only
entirely
other-
fair.
The only other Jedi I believe we've agreed to tell is Quinlan, and that's just for our own like.
Oh, yeah,
gain,
that's
so he
like-
can help us find it.
Mhm.
But that.
And he's off.
Oh, you gotta try and
Planet.
find a way to talk to D-Gang.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, that's right. Oh
I
fuck.
mean,
Haha.
we'll go ahead. I mean, we'll settle with the Rex thing first. I mean, I'll leave it up between you know, Chase and Mark if you want either Beren, Viper, or a combo with the two of you to try to tell Rex what the fuck's going on with Raz.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think we both should. It's probably the best approach.
Probably the best for both.
Yeah, tell like the
Yeah.
negative charisma boys to go tell the captain.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
gonna go well.
Just
Just,
tell
really,
them.
nothing can go wrong from this.
God.
Excuse
What
me.
the nigger is?
I do honestly though, like I kind of want to see it because that'd be funny to see it play out.
Oh yes, please. I will happily eat my hypothetical popcorn as this whole scene plays out in my brain.
Yeah, as long as it's like in a private tent.
Oh, absolutely, it will be. But yeah, I mean,
Whereas would even urge you to like, if you're going to inform Rex, have it be in his private tent, no one else. I've also got to inform the others, Rough Riders. So I'll leave that to you.
all right,
Try not to blow up, Beren.
all right. So,
I will leave it at that.
so Viper and Baron, I'd say you can very
Oh,
easily.
God.
Between these three little outposts, you can find Captain Rex in his tent by himself, or at least like kind of looking over, you know, stratagem maps and algorithms and things. So, how do you guys want to go about informing Rex about your fucking harebrained scheme?
So, do we let him in on the whole thing, or do we have to just like be like, "Hey, listen,
Ominously,
have-
someone will die tomorrow. Goodbye.
ominous."
Keep it ominous.
Fucking,
I've
it's literally the Parks and Rec thing that someone will die. A fun.
I'm fine.
Oh, murder. This is-
Blood orphans.
God.
Yeah,
here's-
Baron's definitely the one in that situation to be like, "Oh, fun."
The chuckleheads.
So I have.
Yeah,
So
I'll let
there's two
Viper
voices in my
approach-
head.
I'll let Viper approach it to begin with because obviously you know Rex better, and
Yeah.
like as a clone have a bit more rapport with him. So
Hmm. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
He just sort of like. just steals himself and just sort of like walks up to Rex and just like, "Captain."
Ah. Afternoon, Viper. Good luck with your mission. I know it's a big job trying to, you know, these prison infiltrations. I'm only still new into my career, and Skywalker's made a very big point as to, you know, doing these unorthodox strategies to get the one up on the Seppies. But I'm sure you'll do fine. We've lasted this long in the war.
Thinking outside the box tends to be our bread and butter, so to say.
Indeed. As he's kind of like sharpening his, like, you know, vibro blades.
But if you have the time, there is something I must inform you of for future considerations.
Oh, feel free. Floor's your soldier.
It's just us, right?
Yeah. I mean, Beren can tag along too if you want, or unless Baron's just kind of
Okay.
ominously
No,
watching
I-
from the tent.
I thought,
perhaps.
yeah, I thought it was just like Baron, Viper, and Rex.
I mean,
Up to you though.
yeah.
Oh God! All right. How much do I divulge on the fact? Oh God.
I mean, would Beren tag along, or are you just kind of watching from the back, just watching, like, cheering from the backside, like, you got this, Viper?
Tags along.
the hiccup gif.
He will. I mean, he's like shit. He will. I don't know. Like, cause Beren feels like he doesn't really know Rex like well enough. But like he'll be there with Viper, like next to Viper and everything, while Viper explains, just to chime in with anything that might be missed, or if Rex has any questions in particular,
Yeah.
to help out with that.
Yeah, just like, yeah, he's a little. Beren will just be like, just there to clarify stuff that Viper may miss.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, or if Rex wants to get angry and blame
Fact
someone, then I
checker.
guess Beren. So.
Sure.
Fact checker, love it.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. So yeah, Beren and Viper, you have Beren right behind you, just kind of, looking like a nice little muscle. So yeah, feel free to explain to Rex the situation how you see fit.
Okay. Well, Captain, for future consideration, and well, let me just start off with this. We have a bit of a situation. I don't know how much I can divulge on the fact, but someone amidst our ranks wants Raziel dead.
What?
With physical proof to do so. Am I cool to say who it is, or do I have to keep it on the down low?
I
mean, Shiri is already. I mean, I feel like it's fair to say who it is.
Okay, yeah, because it's just
considering we're in this situation and we're selecting those we trust to keep it under wraps.
Okay.
Until we can figure out a solution.
Just Viper just sort of looks around just to make sure we're really in the clear. Just sort of like leans in a bit, just like, I was called last night by Admiral Thrawn, wanting me to betray Raziel and kill him. Obviously, I'm not following said orders, but if the assassination does not go through, Thrawn's planning to do something with the clones, the rest of them Camino at least. So we are staging a fake death, planning to disguise Raziel as someone else. And I'm only telling you this because I trust you, and you're my superior, and more importantly, someone who I can trust.
Rex kind of stands up, defiantly, kind of like looking to both of you, like, who else knows about this?
Do we have the list?
You would have been given the list, yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm just the two stupidest people with no charisma to not have the list.
I feel like Rez and Shiri would have given you all the list ahead of time, at like dawn or something.
Beren will step in and just hand the list over. Or like show it on his comm, I guess, or whatever it's on. Yeah, he's like, hands it over. He will expect it back, obviously, because we don't want any trace of this. But yeah, he gives a list and like, that's everyone we're telling or has been told so far.
I'm not a fan of all this, but do her as a favor. So, keep this under wraps as best I can. But if you do have proof of this, of Thrawn's rashness to use such tactics to go after a ally of the Republic, then I would be helpful. It would go a long way in potentially prosecuting him, bringing him down for his actions, if you do have this proof, Viper.
Do I have proof of what?
Proof of, Thrawn's, treachery that he wants Raz dead.
Oh God. Can my thing to even record calls?
It can. I mean, I don't believe you recorded the one that, Thrawn threatened you with.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh.
My proof.
Keep going.
My proof is trust me. I swear.
I'm gonna write something down, but keep going. That I have an idea.
Okay.
Oh God.
Rex will kind of
God.
he's got a bit of a sneer underneath his helmet, or helmet's off at this point, and you see this kind of sneer, just I don't know, but he will look to you and go, he'll look to Beren and go, I know you're close with him. Well, about as close as Viper is with Raz. You can keep him safe in whatever's coming up, or at least ensure that this fake death is actually a fake one. I'd hate to lose the kid. After what he did for me, it feels a bit of a shame to kind of let him pass. He's asking that towards both of you, but primarily for Beren. That if you can keep Raz safe. Oh shit! It was right as fucking Mark dipped. Goddamn.
Oh, that's great. That's great. All right.
Yeah.
No, I'll take care of that. Easy peasy.
No, yeah.
I'll do whatever it takes to make sure the kid stays alive. You have my word on that, Captain.
Of course. What happened with our first the earlier encounters on Jabim? Be sure to take those medications that Patch provided for you to ensure that no episodes happen in any pivotal moments. But for Mark, Rex basically asked you, if you can keep Raz safe, and make sure that his fake death actually is a fake one.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
That's Beren's son, of course.
Right. Well, if there's nothing further else you need from me, I will hold on to this best I can. I will say it's a bit disconcerting that Thrawn is willing to go after Republic lives on his own, but it will press on as with the knowledge we have, and we'll act accordingly as more things come out. We'll see how everything goes, but good luck on your mission.
Thank you, Captain.
He kind of gives his salute and leaves you all to go, and I'll say with that out of the way, you can all hop on your speeder bikes and begin. Where are you all going? Are you just going to the shield, the border of the capital city? Are you going to one of the command posts that haven't been taken yet? What's the destination?
Baron's gonna stick with Sherry because we need to be captured together, so...
because there are two speeder bikes. Viper would be driving one, Raz would be driving the other. Yeah, there'd be enough room on each bike for one more person, so...
I don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
To be quite honest. Whoever dibs whatever seat first, Beren will take the other one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll say for... Yeah, I can go ahead and do this. Let me check this way. I didn't mean to take the third bike, but yeah, I'll do that. So yeah, feel free to divvy up, who would be on which one, just so I know, in case, in case something goes wrong before you even get to the city. But yeah, like, what is like the destination? Like, is it a command post? Is it just one of the outward cities, or are you just trying to find like a sewer line thing? Like, what's the what direction are y'all headed?
I thought we were initially gonna go through the sewer line, but I could be wrong on that.
Okay, because
But I knew we were gonna infiltrate through the sewers, I believe. I thought that's what we talked about.
Yeah, because
Oh, sorry, I forgot I was muted. Yeah, we talked about going through the sewer.
Okay, but still, like, with, you know, Viper and Raz still in disguise?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So,
yeah,
I
just to be safe.
do think though, to sell it more, perhaps, someone from the other tower they radio from like one of the taken command posts that they've captured 2 people of the Republic.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
sure. I'd say that's a thing that can very easily be, like, you know, faked with one of the other towers. I'd say, like, probably the one that Anakin just took, just, you know, it's quick enough that, you know, before other forces can, you know, leave to inform, like, the rest of the bases that, hey, like, we're taken, that they can sell, like, hey, you know, we've captured 2 Republic folks, and they'll say to meet over at, like they'll open the shield, like a small section of the shield around Troll, like I'll say probably right around, we'll call it, we'll draw it on here, to the red light, yeah, probably around this region right here, is where you will be expected to kind of be let into the city that way.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that should be totally fine to do. I know we said we would do the sewers, but like this might sell it further. So it doesn't seem like, you know, like why didn't we get anything to inform us of going, you know?
No, for sure. But yeah, I'd say with that we can go ahead and end it off on you guys beginning your approach to the city of Chol, as the once, like, you know, the ominous sort of ray shield is kind of around the city there, and yeah, the beginning of the end of Jabim is right around the corner. But yeah, we'll go ahead and end the session there.
Okay.
Nice.
Good shit. Also, to answer your question, TK, we'll say for like the sake of suspense, you can go ahead and I can give you time to, you know, sort of write out what you're saying to D-Gig, for next time, whenever, yeah, you can sort of open that, as like, it'll be a nice transition from, you know, you write this message to D-Gig, and you're kind of going into this Raz's potential last fucking hoorah type of deal. But,
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
yeah. But yeah.
And, yeah, sweet. Curious to know, though, what would have been Sora and Brass's reactions?
Brass is definitely kind of, you know, taken aback at the whole, like, faking the death as a strategy. But, you know, I'd say he's you know, not too surprised as far as, like, that you might have to go this route and, you know, if things really are this desperate. But, I will say as far as, you know, he kind of takes it in stride and, you know, still wishes you the best of luck in here and, you know, is happy to induct you into the Rough Riders, you know, as a newfound clone. And no matter what, you'll still be Raz to him. And I'll say Sora definitely feels a bit guilty that, you know, she kind of put Raz, like, not in a life or death situation, but, you know, for what she did back at the temple, you know, when Dooku and, like, that, it was falling apart, but, yeah, feels a bit guilty that, you know, at least in the eyes of those clones there, or, like, some of your friends, that they might not like her as much for how she reacted then, but as she was kind of at the mercy of orders too, and didn't want to risk lives that way, but she does have immense respect for Raz, that he's putting his own life as he knows it on the line to look out for the clones. But oh yeah, and in unison they all are kind of like, yeah, fuck Thrawn a little bit. But we'll deal with him.
Dope.
Yeah. We'll deal with it when the time comes. Like, it sucks that you killed his brother, but hey, turned over a new leaf. You shouldn't be a dick to your coworkers.
Yeah, and he would even say that I was following orders. I didn't want to, but you know how that goes. And Thrawn is doing a hissy fit.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd say that's a
cool.
good enough to place to wrap up as any. We'll kind of go around the table real fast. Just kind of say what's going on in our lives, where it can be followed for updates and stuff. But yeah, start off with little old me. I'm still on all the socials at KCoutoVA. Still occasionally doing voiceover stuff when mood strikes me so and all that jazz. But yeah, I'm also running games over on startplaying.games. If anyone liked what you saw here today, you can feel free to hop in the various weekly one-shots and campaigns that I'm running. I've got a couple Vecna Eve of Ruins that have one spot open, so feel free to jump on that when you are able to. But yeah, starting off, TK, go ahead and, start off, send us on home.
All right, TK here. I played Raziel, who's going through it and letting people in on his scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, yeah, we're nearing the end of Jabim, it looks like, but things are getting crazy. It's fun to be back, fun to be playing with y'all again.
Nice.
You can find me on Twitter, fuck X, Twitter, at TK the VO, for any updates on projects and whatnot. I've been a bit quiet recently, due to just in real life stuff in general, but I'm hoping to make a comeback sometime soon.
Nice.
Working on projects behind the scenes, so hopefully I can start announcing those sooner rather than later.
Nice.
But yeah, that's me.
Hell yeah. Next on up, we got Jinkles.
Hi, I'm Jinkles. You can follow me at lovejinkles on twitter.com. I don't have much news other than play Sucker for Love, Date to Die For. Oh wait, actually I do. My Vocaloid, Mika, has been updated to the Utao tunings unit. So if you would like to make your own Vocaloid sounds, please go ahead and download her, because she is on Open Utao, and yeah.
Hell
so
yeah.
I would definitely go and do that. It's pretty fun.
Sweet.
And then we also have, if you want to audition to become a part of the next thing, you can actually go to VoiceStar Official. That's VoiStarOffICAL on Twitter. You can audition to become one of us, so I would highly suggest it if you want to turn your voice into a Vocaloid.
Nice. Next on up, we got Chase. Oh yeah, you're like
I
mega
muted
quiet
myself.
now.
I
Now
muted
I can hear
myself.
you.
I apologize.
All good,
Hi
all
everybody.
good.
Hi everybody. Chase Beck here. I played Viper RCO947. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at the Chase Beck. Fuck X. All the homies hate X. In terms of stuff, if you want to hear more of my voice, episode 5 of Interstellar Ranger Commence, episode 4 of Interstellar Ranger Commence just dropped on Brown Table's channel. It is an internet anime style series about space rangers in space doing space things. I voiced a guy in there called Chris, who's pretty much me but in space. So, I think that's neat. And also, if you want more of me, but more on just serving the technical scale of stuff, Repurpose, the visual novel that I helped voice direct, write for, and also provide voices for, is on sale on the Steam Summer Sale. Just look up Repurpose on Steam, and bada bing, bada boom, you can grab that bad boy for $9. It is, and I mean this in the most affectionate way possible, it is very gay. It is very LGBTQ plus friendly. So yeah, if you ever wanted
Nice.
to smooch an angel or a demon or someone who just is trying to figure out what their life is after life, play Repurpose. And yeah, that's it for me.
No
Take
better
it away,
time
Kat.
for gay shit than at the end of Pride Month.
At the end of Pride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And finally, last but certainly not least, Mark.
Hey, I'm Mark. I played Beren. Probably by the time that this is out, it's probably already over, but I am on a panel on the 9th of July. And I'll have all the details on my Twitter about that at Mustangsart. It's a discussion about disability, accessibility, and Dungeons and Dragons, as Dungeons and Dragons celebrates its 50th anniversary, and it still doesn't have a fucking wheelchair. What a shock! Damn. At least not officially. So yeah, we're going to be talking just about disability representation, accessibility of the game, why it's important, etc., etc. If you're interested in that, then yeah, that'll be on my Twitter, and I'm sure it will be posted onto YouTube once the stream's over.
Awesome. Yeah, and links for all these lovely folks and myself will be in the description below. But yeah, thanks everyone for sticking around. Looking forward to seeing where the story goes. But yeah, y'all have a good rest of your day. Fuck, I forgot the tagline that I signed off with. Oh, that's right. I got it now. It's like, yeah, have a good rest of your day. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other. And as always, may the rolls be with you. Have a good one. Perfect timing.